Assalamu alaikum ya Khadija al-Kubra. Now that we know about Khadija's life, let's talk about her life before marriage.
Yes. In the previous discussion, we talked that her life is in three parts. Regarding before marriage, she's born in 555 CE. He was older than the Prophet. She was older than the Prophet. She, on the time which the lady had no actually possibility to play a role in the society, we see that she was a very brave lady. She was a business lady. That is very great. You see, on the time of the, she was living in a time that the lady was kept at home. In some cases, they were beheaded or they were buried under the soils, because any father who was hearing the voice of his girl, she was getting sadness. We see on that time how Khadija salamullah alayha is a grave lady in a way that she is a businessman. She is active in social issues, in economical issues. That is enough to understand the role of the Hadrat Khadija salamullah alayha. I would like to highlight one title of the Khadija Kubra salamullah alayha, which is very amazing. And she was entitled as At-Tahira, means the pure. She was very pure lady. If we are talking about the Prophet Muhammad's title, before being Prophet, he was entitled as Al-Amin. Hadrat Khadija salamullah alayha was entitled as At-Tahira, pure lady.
So they were very similar.
Yes. So a pure lady should go to a Amin and trustworthy man. A trustworthy man like Muhammad should go to a very pure lady, Khadija salamullah alayha. So this title is not only title, it is not only verb, it is describing the characteristics and the nature of this lady. That is enough. And one more important is that she was very from noble family. Her grandfather, father, all of them were very great people.
So her ancestors were really affluent.
Very, very, according to the history. So you see, the lady, she is from noble family of the Quraysh. Actually, the Quraysh itself was very well-known tribe. She is from well-known tribe and very noble family, and she is common to the Prophet Muhammad. She was very important. She was helping. She was a very rich lady, but she was helping the poor people. She was supporting poor people to marry each other.
So
you
she
see,
was a philanthropist.
Very true. That is the actually characteristic of the lady Khadija salamullah alayha before the marriage. These titles maybe make sense. It makes sense when we understand the atmosphere of the lady Khadija she was living in.
Yes.
The atmosphere you see on that old-fashioned time.
Depressed atmosphere.
At the time of the ignorance, she is living in that ignorance time, supporting people, helping the others, being noble, getting the title of the purified lady. That is enough for the Khadija salamullah alayha. May Allah actually forgive us and grant us the mercy for the sake of the Khadija salamullahi alayha. Thank you.
That was very amazing, and I honestly feel proud to have her as a role model.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is so. She
A
is so.
businesswoman as well as a staunch
Pure
supporter
lady.
and pure.
Yes.
Yeah, very affluent. So stay tuned for the next part. Welcome back to our program. Here we are broadcasting from Masjid Muqaddas Jamkaran, the holy mosque of Jamkaran. Now, let's talk about Khadija's life after marriage. No, let's just talk about how did they get to know each other, like Khadija and our Prophet.
Actually, this story is also very lovely and very interesting story. Khadija salamullah alayha, she was, we talked that she was a business lady. So she was not only business lady, actually she was training the youth for the next generation. That's why she was looking for well-talented boys and youth to train them. So she, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was well known as Al-Amin, the trusty person of that time. So she catched him and she found him. Then she said that, would you come to assist me in my business? And the Prophet's uncle Abu Talib salamullah alayhi actually asked the Prophet Muhammad salamullah alayhi to support the Khadija. And on his way to the Damascus, he made very well Prophet in a way that Khadija didn't had such a Prophet before. That's why Khadija, and Khadija had a servant, asked about Prophet Muhammad, actually Muhammad, the son of the Abdullah, how was he during this journey? And the servant of Khadija said that he is very trusty person. And as much as he was with us, we got very Prophet and very blessings. That's why Khadija herself proposed marriage to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And on that time, Prophet wasn't Prophet. Prophet was only 25 years old, and she herself proposed this. You see, just go back to the time which all issues were very old-fashioned. But Khadija destroys the sunnah and the traditions and the rules, which is outdated, and it has no logic beyond. She herself decides and starts proposing how it was acceptable at that time. But Khadija did so, and Prophet Muhammad, knowing her, accepted it, and they got big couple, and together, shoulder by shoulder, hand to hand, they moved to supporting communities, to help the poor people, and also expanding the spirituality in the society. I would like to highlight one point. Khadija was living in an era which people were worshipping the idols, and people were pagan, but never reported that Khadija was worshipping the idols, and never she entered to the atmosphere of pagan area. She was a worshipper, a muwahhid worshipper. She was always worshipping the unity, never become a worshipper of the idols and so on. You see, that lady is training Prophet and also training the society.
So we can understand that she was really ahead of her time, and being really open-minded and supportive of the youth, showing how brave she is and how much of a rebel she is. It actually makes me feel very proud.